Okay, so this is what 弦系两会 is that right? Oh, very interesting. So we've got two testing stations, and this is for testing the internet connection, whereas the station over here is more connecting the phone call through Bluetooth, is it?
Yeah, Bluetooth.
Yeah. Okay. Over the other side. So they're making another type.
I think that they are the same. Because today we only do the 340 GPS charter. Today we do only one product.
Okay. So interesting. Okay.
I asked her why they are over sleeveless.
Yeah.
And she said this is the walking shoe, so no need to do the protection on the normal shoe.
Oh, because the slippers already stay inside the battery. Okay, that's good. All right, yeah. Control channel. The mobile testing. So this is they're testing for the calls and things like that. Okay, very good. And the battery's Chinese battery.
Chinese, but we buy from China. Maybe other factories and the other. Not China.
Understand. So normally when you charge this smartwatch up, how many days does it work for?
It's about 1 week.
1 week? Oh, that's a long time.
7 days.
That's a long time. Yeah, like my smartwatch will last for maybe 4 days, 5 days.
I think the battery is about 120
milliamps. Yes. And yours?
Because my battery is, I show you.
Oh, yes. 400 mph. Wait a minute, over here. So 400, 3.7 volts. So it lasts for 1 week. Wow, that's very good. Very good. Yeah. Interesting. Wow. Okay. So this is more the assembly of the, looks like the iWatch, isn't it? Yeah.
This is for watch, and this is for you can take a photo.
Okay.
Yeah, you can take a photo.
Okay. So take a photo here. Click. That's the actual camera. Oh, very good. Excellent. We'll have to get one of them. Okay, so this is really good. So we've seen the storeroom, we've seen receiving.
Yeah.
So they're separated, and you've got receiving inspection, and then the assembly. So a question about, I noticed that the receiving inspection of raw materials. So for example, is the batteries tested before they put in the phone? Do they test a sample of the batteries? Very good. Interesting. I like the solder thing. It's very important. Yes, they're all connected. And IQC. Quality control, is it?
Raw materials testing is in this room.
So they're receiving inspection testing.
Yes,
very good. Hanhao.
Assembly line.
Mandy, this is very good. Yeah, because you a lot of you controlling the input materials is very critical. I think the foreign buyer like to know that.
So our products in order to match that.
Yeah, because sometimes if you have problem with your product, sometimes it's caused by the material, not your assembly. Yeah, so very good. Thank you. Yes. Hi, it's Neil again. We're going between the first and second factory today. Now, the first factory visit this morning was so interesting because it was a startup less than 2 years ago by the owner. who once worked for a smartphone company and also video production company, and he's more in design. So he left that and actually gone and started up his own factory. This factory is very interesting because they had 5 production lines, and they were doing about 1,000 smartwatches a day. You know, the smartwatch like the Fitbit or the Apple Watch. Well, this is very similar, but for 1/4 of the price. Okay, their best product is 260 yuan, so you can see that's much cheaper than the average high-end watch that you'll buy in the US market or Australian market or other Gulf markets. So it's very interesting that most of the sales were domestic, 70% of sales, and their sales from the US and Europe were actually less than what it had been in the past. And so their main customers now from overseas are coming from Spain and Southeast Asia. What was very interesting about the production was to see that they had total separation of the receiving goods room, the quality control room, and also the returns room, goods returns room. And what was very interesting was that the goods returns was really focused on the raw material returns, or the actual input goods return, not the output. So I thought that was very nice that they had that set up, because often that is a very important sign of good quality control or management of the production process, especially from a quality standpoint. Alright, so if you have good quality going in, it's just like you're going to have bad quality at the other end after assembly is completed. What was another interesting thing was, I asked them about compliance. They had CE and FCC. They didn't have FCC, and one of the reasons was that they found it was too expensive. And so I'm thinking that if you are buying for a US market, you do have to buy from suppliers that have FCC accreditation. Otherwise, you run the risk of customs in the US seizing your goods and actually fining you. Now, if it's just a small shipment, you're going to get away with that. But over time, as your shipments grow, it's very important to have a supplier that has FCC certification. So that's on the buyer, ultimately, if the supplier doesn't have it. But their reason for not having it was just too expensive for the size of the market that they had in terms of sales to the US. And finally, the number one challenge, of course, as a challenge for a lot of factories in China now, and that is sales. And they're looking at the domestic sales at 70%. They're seeing more growth there at the moment. And they're also selling through Weibo and other online marketplaces in China. So there you have it. That's the smartwatch factory that we've just been to. And now we're going off to a gifts manufacturer where they actually make anything little that few people value to buy in a shop. But of course, your eyes light up when you actually are given it to you through a banquet or as a present or some other company function. Okay, so we'll catch you in the next factory. And here's Neil signing off from Shenzhen, halfway between factory 1 and factory 2.